Hello, this is Dr. Salvatore Vinciguerra, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you about 16th notes. When we add two flags to a quarter note, we have a 16th note. And a 16th note is equivalent to a quarter of a beat. In this example, I have a 16th note with the stem going up and the flags going down, and then over here I have another 16th note with the stem going down and the flags going up. Here's an example of how you can beam 16th notes, and you notice you beam them just the same way that you would eighth notes. Here's a group of 2, and then this is a group of 4. When we count 16th notes, especially in a group of 4, we start off with the first 16th note being that number because it's on the beat, and the others receive E and D. Here's the second beat, 2, E and D. Third beat, 3, E and D. Fourth beat, 4, E and D. If I were to play this example on the piano, it would sound like this: 1 E and D, 2 E and D, 3 E and D, 4 E and D. Notice here are quarter notes on the beat: 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be eighth notes: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we have 16th notes as written here in this example. Again, 1 E and D, 2 E and D, 3 E and D, 4 E and D. Here's an example in 2/4 time. The first grouping of 16th notes gets 1 E and D. The quarter note gets 2. Here's an eighth note followed by two 16th notes. This first eighth note gets half of a beat, so it gets 1. And these leftover 16th notes are 2/4 of a beat. They receive and D. And then this eighth note gets 2. And this leftover half of a beat gets an with an R. This example would sound like this: 1 E and D, 2, 1 and D, 2. Here's an example in 3/4 time. This is a quarter note. It receives 1 whole beat. Here's a grouping of 4 16th notes on the second beat. So that it would receive 2 E and D. We have 2 eighth notes, 3, and an. This is what this example would sound like on the piano: 1, 2 E and D, 3, and. I'll play it again: 1, 2 E and D, 3, and. This is an example out of the Successful Sight Singing book, and you would count this measure: 1 E and D, 2, 3 E and D, 4. And I'll play it for you. This is what it would sound like: 1 E and D, 2, 3 E and D, 4. If we were to go down here to the other part of this piece, this is 1 E and D, 2 and 3 E and D, 4. 1 E and D, 2 E and D, 3 E and D, 4. And I'll play that for you. It sounds like this: 1 E and D, 2 and 3 E and D, 4. 1 E and D, 2 E and D, 3 E and D, 4. This is an example out of Alfred's Basic Piano Adult Course, Book 2. I'm going to be looking specifically at the right hand, which is in treble clef, and you notice that there are 16th notes above those quarter notes. And of course, you would still count them: 1 E and D, 2 E and D, 3 E and D, 4 E and D, but the pitches are changing, and this is what this example would sound like: 1 E and D, 2 E and D, 3 E and D, 4 E and D. This is an example out of Essential Elements 2000, Book 2 for strings. This is the violin part. We are in 2/4 time. We have an eighth note followed by two 16th notes followed by two eighth notes. If you were to count this, it would be 1 and D, 2 and. And this is what this example or measure would sound like. And if I were to count it and play it at the same time, it would be 1 and D, 2 and. In this example, we have our 16th notes at the beginning of the beat instead of at the end of the beat. And we would count these first two 16th notes, 1 and then E, and then this last eighth note would get an. So this would be counted 1 E an, 2 E an. When I play this on the piano, it would sound like this. 1 E an, 2 E an. I'll play it again. 1 E an, 2 E an. So now let's look at our 16th notes in context of the Musette by Anna Magdalena Bach. And you notice that this piece starts off with a quarter note followed by 4 16th notes, a quarter note followed by 4 16th notes. And the treble clef portion of this piece would sound like this. 1, 2 E and a, 1, 2 E and a. Let's look at the next two measures of this piece, and you'll see here that the 16th notes in this measure are at the beginning of the beat, followed by eighth notes. This would be counted 1 E an, 2 and 1 and 2 and it would sound like this. 1 E and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So if we were to put these measures together, it would sound like this. Now let's look at a couple of measures from the song Arkansas Traveler, which is an American folk tune. We'll be focusing on the right hand or treble clef of this particular song. You notice the 16th notes, 1 E and a, 2 and. Notice in that these measures, the eighth note is at the beginning of each beat and the 16th notes are at the end. So the eighth note gets the first half and the 2 16th notes get the second half of the beat. This is what this example would sound like in treble clef. This is Dr. Salvatore Vinciguerra. Thank you for watching this video on 16th notes. Please look out for more videos in this series of basic music notation and learning how to read and write music. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and have a great day. Thank you.